Okay, good evening, everybody. Good evening. As you already know, I took Eiken first grade exam the other day for the first time in my life. And today, I am going to share with you the nightmarish, bitter experience of the test, so that one day in the future, if you ever take it, you'd remember what I experienced and be encouraged and also consoled by my mistakes. Okay, first, I took the first test, and as you already know, I passed it, so I wouldn't get into the detail of the test. But one thing I can tell you is that as that was the first test I ever took in 18 long years, that I was so nervous and agitated. So my hand kept trembling from the beginning to the end. And it was so exhausting. But anyway, I passed it. So it was okay and it was good. But however, it was not good because I had to take the second test. And this second test was the true nightmare of mine because I knew I wasn't fluent enough to pass it. And also in this test, the critical thinking and the logical thinking skills were required. So, considering those things, there was no way I could pass it. So, to tell the truth, I didn't want to take it, but I thought, if I have to take it sooner or later, then the sooner I take it and fail, the better. So anyway, I went to Kyoto to take the test, second test. And there were two examiners in a room, and one was British native speaker, male, and the other was the Japanese male examiner. And this native guy asked me to pick up the topic, and I chose the topic on arts, and which said something like, enough efforts made to encourage arts in society. And I made a 2-minute speech for that topic, in which I said something like, the tickets for performing arts in Japan are so expensive, whereas if I go see a musical in a place like New York, then the ticket is very cheap and reasonable, so the Japanese government should subsidize more to encourage art in Japan, etc. And as soon as I finished my speech, this guy, native guy, asked me the question, and he said, you mentioned the musicals in New York, but they are not subsidized by the government. They are highly commercialized. So the low price tickets are due to their commercial success, not the government's help. What do you think about that? And I was thinking, why did I mention musicals in New York? but I had to say something, so I started to speak. But I don't really remember what I meant to say, but I said something like, well, the ability of Japanese people to appreciate arts is not mature, or something like that. And as soon as I said that, the Japanese examiner snickered like and I panicked. Did I offend him? And because I said that Japanese people are immature, and he was Japanese, so I thought, oh, I had to do something to cover my blunder. So I said, oh, of course, there are lots of wonderful historical arts in Japan. And by doing that, I completely forgot what the original question was. And I thought, oh, what was the question? What am I supposed to say? And in the end, I finished my speech by saying completely irrelevant from the original question. So I didn't answer the question in this section. So I thought, oh, this is over. I want to go home. But the interview still went on. And the Japanese examiner asked me the question, and I answered him. That was okay. And then again, this guy, native guy, asked me the question. You sound like as though the arts are so important in our lives. But when I look around, people are playing games and using iPhones, etc., and they don't really care much about arts. What do you think about it? And by the time he asked the question, I was sick and tired of his nasty questions. And also, I was exhausted and desperate and didn't care what they would think of me anymore. So I said, well, what you said may be true, but I want to believe they care. And they laughed. And I don't know why they laughed, but maybe they thought I was pathetic or something. So anyway, so I added, well, when I came here this morning, I saw many people standing in a long line in front of a museum, even before it was open. And I glared at the native speaker and said, that proves they care. And he was looking like, trying not to laugh at me, like, that made me mad. So I added, I retested. And I was thinking, oh, what should I do with my fingers? And I realized I overreacted. So I tried to compose myself to finish my speech like an adult. I finished my speech by saying something rational and adult. So anyway, after that, the Japanese examiner once again asked me the question, and I answered him like an adult. And finally, the interview was over. And to summarize, I was able to keep talking. And also, I was able to make them laugh. But I don't really know the true reason why they laughed. They maybe found me funny, or they may have felt sorry for me, or they were just surprised by my desperate performance. So anyway, as I don't know how to interpret their reactions, so I decided to think, if they flunk me, they want to see me again. And if they pass me, they don't want to see me again. And what do you think they decided? They don't want to see me again. I passed! And surprisingly, they gave me a very high score, like 95 points out of 100. So, in the end, they found me funny. Thank you very much.